On behalf of the Saskatchewan Retro GameCon, we are proud to present the 8-Bit Minute, where we interview a vendor, a sponsor, or a special guest in a fast, pixel-packed spotlight. Time to power up and press start. Hi everyone, this is Jared from the Saskatchewan Retro GameCon and welcome back to the 8-Bit Minute. Today we are excited to be talking with Sean from Nanan Academy. Sean, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited.
Can you please just start with telling me about yourself?
Yes, sure. Well, I was born and raised in Moose Jaw, so I'm a Moose Jaw boy, and I really love the activities that you are bringing to Moose Jaw. It is next level. It's something that we really need as well. And I've lived here my whole life. I'm an engineer and also running a private school called Nanan Academy.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for the kind words and for being part of this. Can you tell me your inspiration for what you do, or what kind of got you into this field in the first place?
Yeah, so I'm an educator. I worked at Saskatchewan Polytechnic for 15 years, and I taught in the computer engineering technology program. I was also program head and then later on academic chair in the institution. Wow. So I left last year to pursue this venture, and it is a private school, and it is offering STEM education for youth, as well as a post-secondary level program and a computer literacy and online safety for seniors. We offer courses in computer science, in coding, robotics, 3D printing, game development. It's the whole package right there, as well as entrepreneurship for youth and financial literacy. So that is in our youth program, which typically is from grade 3 to grade 12 is what we have. And I have two young kids as well. They're 9 and 11 currently, and they're all over, the technology, right? They have the computers and the smart TV and smart that and all this, right? So, one of the things I wanted to look at was how to train our youth to properly and responsibly use the technology, right, that they have. And well, that's critical. Those digital literacy skills is critical for the future. And I see them playing these games, and I said to them, well, instead of playing the game, how would you like to create one? And they were like, really? Can we actually do this? At 7 years old at the time, they didn't think they would need to be able to create something at such a young age until I introduced them to Scratch. That is a visual block coding language. And within half an hour, they were able to create some interactive game. But what were they actually learning? They were learning a lot of essential skills, the math skills, the computational thinking, the logical sequencing, the creativity, the resiliency, the troubleshooting, the analytical skills. It all comes together in creating a video game.
Well, that's excellent, and it does really sound like you span a whole wide variety of things. And I did want to touch back on something that you were just mentioning about, that safety piece. And I feel like that's such a huge thing as generations go and as things are changing so fast, especially when we're thinking of AI and things of how to discern on the internet and how to demystify some of that. Can you tell me maybe a story or two about that, or how you've seen that impact people's lives?
Yeah, absolutely, and that is critical for the future, digital literacy. So going back from the youth, how to protect yourself online, right? They're all over the internet, and they're exposed to all this technology, but there's no formal training on this. So, being aware of, risks and of what's online, but also understanding what is fake and what is not. There's so much AI generated videos and imagery. So discerning what is real and what is not is part of that critical thinking. Okay. And then in our seniors class, which I'm currently running every Tuesday at 3:30 at the Moose Jaw Public Library, everyone is welcome to join on this one. It's funded through the Red Cross and Palliser Regional Library.
Oh, nice.
And here is where we're empowering them with digital literacy, anything from basic computer skills to understanding cybersecurity.
That's incredible, and then kind of the other piece that you were talking about, which I was really interested in, is having your 7-year old at the time like learn how to code these things. I remember in high school, I was in a computer science class, and we made like a very crude game, right? I mean, this was back in
Yeah.
2007, and just trying to see how we could make things work. But from that, I know I learned how if then statements work. It took me
Yeah.
into Excel and into my job now. I remember learning like financial literacy through The Sims sometimes.
Yes,
Can you kind of give an
exactly.
example? Like you gave a great example with your kids, but is there anything else you've seen, like translating those skills from a game into other parts of life?
Yes, well, absolutely. And I mentioned those overall essential skills,
Yeah.
like resiliency and fortitude and the grit. So here is where impact story, where there may be a student who is very shy and introverted and actually even afraid to speak in public, and that's the general public.
Mhm.
I guess most
Yeah.
people, to be honest, right? So to come out of that your shell and to be proud of the work that you've done and demonstrating that to the public. They don't even realize what's happening. They're just having fun, but they are developing those communication skills and those critical thinking skills
Hmm.
and being able to do public speaking. So it is quite amazing to see.
Yeah, excellent. I think it's such a safe place for people to learn those skills. And I mean, I guess the only transferable skill you wouldn't want to learn is driving through Grand Theft Auto or something like
Yeah,
that. But
that's
maybe,
it.
maybe we'll leave that to the driver
We'll leave that
instructors.
to them.
um, well, thank you so much for telling me about your business. It sounds incredible. And congratulations. I know you just won a Moose Jaw Business Award, which is incredible.
Thank you, and congratulations to you as
Oh,
well. Didn't you
thanks.
get this award
Yeah,
for both? That's
we
amazing.
were cheering for you at that time, so that was great.
Yeah, me too.
And I know you just came back from something called the Skills Canada Nationals. I don't know anything about that. Can you tell me more about that?
Yes. What is Skills Canada? Think of it like the Olympics, but for skilled trades and technology, the
Ah,
academics. Okay,
nice.
that's what it
Okay.
is.
Okay.
So there are provincials, there's nationals, and there are worlds competition. Okay. And I was in this year, I was in Toronto just last week for the national competition. And there are 45 different skilled competitions. And in the IT area that I was involved in, there is cloud computing, IT office administration, there is 3D game art, 2D and 3D computer animation. Okay. And my particular area that I was running is on game development. Okay.
Nice.
So that's what the area and with Nanan Academy is. We do offer game development courses specifically using Godot Game Engine and
Hmm.
Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been running this in the provincials, and this is a brand new competition that was brought forward. And Saskatchewan was the very first province to offer a game development competition on the provincial level.
Okay.
So now what I'm trying to do is bring it to the nationals. So we
Nice.
had our very first presentation. It wasn't an official competition yet, as there's a process. We had a presentation, a demonstration,
Mhm.
and it was amazing. So then the next year, and it's next year's nationals is going to be held in Calgary. Hopefully, we'll have an official competition.
Yeah.
So what we did, so we had two teams. We had a secondary high school level, and we have a post-secondary level. So we got the secondary level from Saskatchewan, right? So we got high school students from Melville, Saskatchewan, and they got the brightest kids there. They came out to Toronto, and we had as a showcase. It was
Nice.
actually a game jam. That's what the model was. And then the post-secondary team came from Niagara College.
Okay.
So then, yeah, we had those two teams, and we essentially, the competition is a game jam. It's a game jam model. We had 2 days. Okay, a total of 16 hours actually, 8 hours each day, and they have to eat lunch and whatnot. So less than total of 16 hours maximum. They had to create a functioning game that met a specific theme. So we had, for our game jam there, we had support from Epic Games. So we had a couple individuals from Epic Games that came to Toronto to support us and to provide some feedback and coaching to
Hmm.
our students. So
Wow.
now the next step is to eventually bring it to Worlds competition. So that would be fantastic. And
Wow.
in 2028 is going to be in Japan. So can you imagine running a game jam in Japan? That would
Mhm.
be that would be awesome.
Yeah, and we need to hear those Japan announcers say Melville at least once, because that would be
Melville.
amazing to represent Melville on the world stage.
That
So shout
would
out
be.
to all those Melville kids.
That's right. That's so awesome.
Oh, that's crazy what you've done in a year already. So that's awesome. And you're going to be a vendor at, you're going to have a booth at our convention this September. So can you
Yes.
tell everyone? I mean, we're excited to have you. Can you tell everyone what to expect when they come to see you at your booth?
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. It can't come soon enough here. Yeah. So, I was big into PC games back in the day. Okay, so a little bit of story behind my gaming experience
Yeah,
before I explain what I'm going to be showing
for
in
sure.
September. So it started with, I got an Atari, back in the 80s there, and the traditional Pac-Man and Space Invaders. But once I got my very first PC in the mid to late 80s, I was hooked on the Sierra adventure games.
Oh,
Okay,
nice.
so going back to King's Quest, Space Quest, Police Quest, that was my thing, right? And from the mid 80s to the mid 90s, that was amazing. That was my thing. So what you're going to see, I'm going to have in my booth, I'll have several workstations there that where participants from the public can play retro PC games. Okay,
Excellent.
so that's where we're going to have. I'll have some, laptops out there where you can play the old King's Quest, Space Quest games. I will have the original Doom on there, Wolfenstein 3D. So those are the games that you're going to be seeing. That's going to
Oh,
bring back lots of memories.
that's incredible. And that's going to be such a huge addition to our free to play game area. And I
Yeah.
mean, just to have some PC games representing is great. And, you mentioned Doom. One of our special guests, J.S. Gilbert, he did some of the grunts and the enemy voices
Yeah,
for Doom. So he will be there. So you'll have to
that
come and
is
take a look at your booth when he's there.
that's amazing. That would be awesome. But
Yeah.
also at the booth, I'll have some interactive activity where we can do some coding activity in Scratch. Okay, so I'll have a
Okay.
few laptops where we could actually show you how to create some basic animations and some basic games there. So
Oh,
we'll do that as well.
yeah.
And I'm also going to bring my robot dog. We're going to be walking around there. So I won't say too much more about that. You'll see it when in September.
It sounds like a pet that I can actually keep alive. So I'm looking forward to
Yes,
looking forward to.
as long as you charge the battery, it's okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you mentioned a little bit about your gaming history, which is amazing, and with the Quest games, is there a
Yeah.
certain game that you've played that really stands out to you, or that's really impacted you the most?
Yeah. Well, again, going back to the Sierra Adventure games, that was a big part of my childhood, and I really it really helped me to release my imagination.
Hmm.
I was inspired by those games by doing creative writing. I did quite a bit of that in high school, inspired by these adventure games
Hmm.
because I love the story. That's what got me right.
Yeah.
I love the story. I love the story elements, that interactive. I used to in the high school. I used to read those choose your own adventure books, right?
Mhm.
Because that was just kind of related to those Sierra adventure games. I love the adventure. I love the story, and my favorite was Space Quest back in the day. Yeah, that was the one that really I was hooked on, and that I still, even play today. Sometimes I go back to those original. You can go on GOG.com or even on Steam, and you can actually get those games from there.
This has been amazing, Sean. It's been great to meet you. We can't wait to see you in September. How can people find you, or what's the best way to interact with you?
Yeah, you can go on our website at www.nananacademy.com.
Thank you so much for your time and what you're doing for Moose Jaw. It sounds incredible, and we can't wait to see you on the world stage. We'll talk.
Awesome.
We'll talk to you later.
Thank you. See you later.